So probably that is the reason why we engage listening to music all the time, no matter what we are doing, whether we are doing walking or jogging or biking or maybe cooking or maybe driving. At all times, we continue to listen to some kind of music. Maybe we are all habituated to the sound, but we are living in a world today. Sorry, there is some. Okay. We are living in a world of silence because that is the only way we connect to the world outside. We human beings are called social animals. So our greatest virtue is speaking and of course listening as well. We love to talk. We want to express our feelings and our emotions to other people. That's why probably we love to talk more than we listen. So in fact, there is a study conducted by one of the professor in University of San Francisco, who is also the author of The Female Brain. According to the study, it states that on an average, a woman speaks 20,000 words a day, whereas a man speaks 7,000 words a day. Perhaps maybe women are more expressive than men. Sound is soothing and entertaining. Then sometimes sound can also be disturbing and hurting. It can heal you, and as well as it can also kill you. But unfortunately, the modern life, with the advent of many technologies, industrial growth, and then travel, air, trains, road traffics, there are so many things. We have reached a stage where the sound or noise has reached to an unhealthy proportions, which is definitely taking a toll on our health. So the noise pollution in the world today is causing a lot of health concerns. It is increasing the blood pressure, causing psychological distress, depressions, leading to the low productivity. And then according to the WHO study conducted in 2011, noise is found to be associated with cardiovascular diseases like ischemic heart diseases, etc. And the cognitive impairment in children, it is also causing sleep disturbances, a lot of annoyance. And there is another typical condition called tinnitus, which is a state of listening to the sound inside your mind, even though there is no external sound around you. This could be a buzzing noise or an echo or sound of a cricket, something like that. So this can be very disturbing and then can lead to a serious health concerns as well. So what is the way out for us to protect ourselves from the impact of noise pollution? Because we cannot avoid this sound, because that's the way we need to operate in this world. But how do you protect yourself from the impacts of this noise pollution is by maintaining the balance between the sound and silence. Because life is a song, it can only be soothing when you appropriately play the sound and silence together at the right time. So what does silence really means here? The silence means just the absence of sound. So how can you remain, how long for that matter, you remain silent without having any sound? So let us try to experiment now. At this moment, let us spend just for 1 minute approximately, not thinking anything else. Just become silent. Let's begin now. So now, how far we are able to stop any thoughts coming into your mind? Probably it is difficult to stop the mind to think anything in this within this 1 minute. So thoughts keep coming. You cannot stop. So in that case, so what is the silence means here? So let us try to understand what silence means here. Because when you are trying to not to speak through your mouth, which means you're only stopping the sound coming from you, but you are not able to, you would have understood by 1 minute of silence now, there is something going on in your mind. There is some chatter within you that keeps playing all the time. The reason why this chatter keeps going all the time is because whatever we see, whatever we hear is recorded in the mind, consciously or unconsciously. So it'll be replayed, maybe very clearly, or maybe in an abstract manner, but some noise will always keep going in your mind because that's all that we have consumed from the atmosphere that we are living in. So mind keeps producing so many thoughts. So this traffic of thoughts will keep making the sound within your mind. There may be some unfulfilled desires that may be disturbing in your mind, or maybe unpleasant memories from the past, or you are so habituated seeking pleasures from your sensual organs. So the sensual pleasures, demand for the sensual pleasures is making that noise, or irrational fears, some expectations, and maybe our lifestyle. All these things may be causing the disturbing noise within the mind. So without addressing this noise, you will not be able to experience this silence and then peace of mind. So let us try to understand what silence means. Silence is of two types. One is external, another one is internal. External silence means like keeping surroundings, without having any sound or absence of sound. That may include with your own mouth or speaking. So mouth, if you look at it, mouth, it has three parts in it. Man, Utkrishta, Nakar, which means by not allowing you to speak or by practicing the silence through the mouth, we are actually making our mind elevated because we are staying away from the negative conversation through the mind, which is definitely beneficial because anything you do to keep silence, it saves energy, conserves energy. But there is also another type of silence, that is internal silence. Internal silence does not mean the absence of thoughts, because as I mentioned earlier, mind will keep producing thoughts no matter what. So here internal silence means having few thoughts, that too very focused thoughts, very elevated thoughts. which are very much in your control. And then in the these thoughts are taking you in the direction you want. So this is called internal silence. So this internal silence is possible only through the prolonged practice. Because silence is a gateway to get into your inner world. All the religions you take, whether it is Hinduism, Christianity, or Buddhism, or whatever is the religion is, all the religions, they strongly recommend silence as one of the most important discipline in their spiritual progress. Speech is definitely an art, but not speaking unnecessarily is even a greater art. It avoids so many complications. Silence is power. Many may think silence is a weakness, but just think about it. Remaining stable and silent in the times of testing requires great deal of strength. So silence is definitely a bigger power, a greater power. Silence means self-retrospection, looking within you, looking at you, analyzing you, searching within you. It is also examining you and then accounting the actions that what you have done. All these things means retrospection or self-evaluation or talking to your own self. So by doing silence, what are the benefits that what we are bringing silence into our life? What are the benefits that we are going to enjoy? One is physical, another one is spiritual. At a physical level, silence brings a bundle of benefits. It increases the growth of your brain cells. There was a study conducted in Duke University, and with just 2 hours of silence, it has been noticed that there is a growth in the cell in the hippocampus area of the brain. There is a new cell generation or cells growth in just 2 hours of silence. Silence can lower your blood pressure. It decreases the stress by lowering blood cortisol levels and adrenaline, boosts the immune system. It promotes and regulates the hormone systems, prevents a plaque formation in arteries. So that way you can avoid the cardiovascular conditions. It conserves energy, so it calms down your senses, heals and improves the overall health and well-being. In fact, there is saying, "Ek chup, so sukh," which means, if you're keeping quiet or silent, it'll be beneficial in 100 different ways. Just by enforcing, whether your mind is thinking or not thinking, that's a different aspect. But just by forcing silence through your mouth itself, we can call it a pseudo silence, let's say, just for understanding purposes. We call it a pseudo silence. By implementing pseudo silence, also there is a benefit involved. Let me share a story of a pseudo master of silence. Once there is a guy who names himself Maun Muni. So he never talks. So but he thinks a lot inside, but he pretends that he doesn't talk. But inside his mind, there are so many things going on. He has 2 disciples. So people, whoever comes to visit this Maun Muni, since he doesn't speak to the visitors, so both these disciples, they will answer whatever questions the visitors ask. So this Maun Muni will see, and then through their eyes, he will signal to the disciples, and disciples will answer those questions. One day, not expecting visitors that particular day, these two disciples go somewhere without informing to his master or his guru. So there is a seeker, spiritual seeker, who happens to stop by in this Man Muni's ashram, and then Man Muni is a little bit, worried because he doesn't have his disciples next to him, so he cannot communicate. But that seeker has come not knowing his practice, that okay, he will only answer through his disciples and all. He started asking questions. He said, Swamiji, what is Dharma? Then, not knowing how to answer because his disciples are not there, he was searching up and down, looking for his um, disciples. So the seeker, he became very happy with that response. Then he asked another question, Swamiji, what is Satya? Truth? What is truth? He said he is searching for his disciples again, sideways. He turned his head this way and this way. So by looking that seeker, he's become very, very happy. And then he was asking another question, who is God? Then Mani started feeling the heat of conversation. He closed his eyes like this, and then he was praying inside, oh God, please save me from this debacle now. How do I answer all these questions and all? He's making conversation inside. So that seeker has got his answer, and he was very, really excited, and he's very happy for his visit. And she said, Swamiji, I have a last question. What is your message for the world? Then Mani opened his arms, put it straight like this. I seek Sharan from you. Please forgive me. I cannot answer any of your questions. Like that, he puts his hand in front, but he doesn't speak. He's speaking inside his mind. By looking at that, that seeker, whoever has come, he was so happy and completely content with all the answers that he got. And then he was going away. And then on the way, he met his disciples. And then he said, you are so fortunate to have such a wise guru. He has answers for every question. So I'm so happy for meeting him and all. His both disciples, not knowing what happened, they were surprised when they were asking, what happened? Oh, then this seeker says, I asked him, what is Dharma? He turned his head up and down to say that Dharma is there neither in hell nor in heaven. It is there within you. And then I asked him, what is truth? He turned his head sideways, which means Satya is neither this side nor that side. So it is there within you. Then I asked him, what is God? Who is God? Then he closed his eyes. That conveyed me that God cannot be described. God is an experience. It has to be experienced by oneself, but cannot be described. That's how he answered me. And then when I asked him what is the message for the world, then he said, surrender yourself to the world and then serve the world. That's how I understood. So the reason I'm telling the story is sometimes even just a physical silence can also be beneficial. Now let's talk about the other benefits of silence. It is said silence is golden. Of course, in that case, silver is, speech is silver, maybe. So many of the time, silence is believed as emptiness, but actually it is filled with full of answers. So we need to speak, as it is said, silence is golden. We need to speak only when your words are more precious or valuable than the silence. In silence, mind becomes still and we can see solutions very clearly. You can find the jewels of wisdom hidden within you. Silence makes your mind very peaceful and content. That's the reason why, in fact, one of the disciple, Ananda, Buddha's disciple, Ananda, he was asking Buddha, Guruji, I've been watching you for the last 40 years, and I saw you whenever you sleep in the night. When you wake up in the morning, you are seen in the same position and you never change your position. How come? How is it possible? Then Buddha replies saying that I found peace. I found peace of mind. So those who have peace of mind, they can sleep happily in whichever position they sleep and they don't have to struggle. Now you see people tossing themselves in bed in all directions just to get few hours of sleep. But people who find silence and peace of mind, as Buddha said, they can have very peaceful sleep as well. Silence opens the creativity within you. It is like the canvas for your thoughts. It is up to you how best you paint the picture using your own creativity. It brings out the best of you. That's the reason why most of the scientists and their creative ideas, they are born out of silence. Silence sometimes can also resolve conflicts. The best way to deal with any argument is to remain silent. Silence takes you much very deeper because when you are silent, it's like a clear water. You know, you can see very deep into the clear water lake if you go there. Whereas if you have mud, the water, then you cannot see even the surface properly. Similarly, when you are in silence, your consciousness is so transparent and you can see through, then you can find the direction and purpose of your life. Silence is the only way to find the ultimate truth, that is God. Now, having discussed the benefits of silence, both physically and as well as spiritually, now the next step is how do you silence your mind? That is the greatest challenge and everybody has. These are the few steps where you can experiment with yourself um, to make your mind silent. First thing is stay away from noise, both external noise as well as the noise. I mean, basically practicing mouth, not talking much, just stay silent and then keep yourself away from the silence, away from the sound. Then find a place of solitude so you can seat yourself comfortably and then not having any distractions or any disturbances around you. So that is called ekant. So you will be in ekant or in solitude, and then you start contemplating within yourself. That is called introspection, antarmukta. So when you are in bahyamukh, like say, look at your face, for example, your indriyas or sense organs are always outside. All the sense organs are on your face, your eyes, your mouth, your nose, and your ears, and everything is on your face. So when you see out in the world, which means when you bahyamukh, then you see and you feel and you perceive everything that is happening in the outside world. But when you turn inside, when you become introvert or introspection, in the introspection, all your sense organs will be completely shut off, which means you are disconnected from your sense organs. And then the deeper you go, actually, you become completely detached from your body. And then your subtle organs, like your mind, your intellect, those are activated and they will start working for you during that introspection stage. So while you are doing that introspection, you may have a lot of obstacles and hurdles because so many things could have happened in our life. And especially when you're calm and quieter, all those things will be popping up on your mind. Why did this happen to me? How can he do? I have done so much for this. And people are thankless. There are so many incidents that may be coming into your life. Why? What? You know, all these questions. And then the more and more you are thinking, you're actually giving energy to it. And you're going more into expansion, and which will only deplete you more and more, which does not help you in any way. Whatever happened, that has happened already. Now, at this point, what you really need to do is how do you move forward from here? That's why put a full stop. Whenever your mind is pulling you towards things that are happening or towards your maybe the weaknesses or maybe your mind start wandering around, whatever the distractions that may be pulling you from your introspection stage or your attention, then put a full stop immediately and then come back to your stage of being that point. Then start the conversation within yourself. Then Swachintan. Just try to talk to yourself in whichever the way that you're comfortable. But talk to yourself because you are the one who knows you better than anybody else. So you know what's going on inside you. So imagine a picture of perfection of your own self. Let's say if you have to become an angel, say for example, what are all the qualities or what are all the traits, personality traits that you would expect to see within an angel? Imagine that picture of you being an angel. And then you start having a conversation with that perfect form of your own self that is an angel. Then you just imagine whatever the conversation that it's up to you, whatever you want to have it conversation with you with that perfect form. You do that conversation. So which means what we are basically doing here is by invoking those personality traits or virtues or the perfect image, our mind is slowly drawn towards that perfection. So we start invoking those qualities, those virtues within ourselves. And that's how we become stronger and then we become much, you know, uh, perfect as we imagine ourselves in that visual. And while you are in the silence, while you are trying to make yourself stronger using the power of silence, the other perfect image that is always eternal is the Supreme. So once you are in the stage of being the true self, being the point, or being the soul, then naturally you are connected to the Supreme Being because there is a natural relationship between the soul and the Supreme Soul. So being the soul at that point, your concentration, your attention will only be on that one, the eternally beloved one, our Father, our teacher, our Guru, our mother, everything. What Paramatma says is, in that silence, in that moment of introspection, when you forge all your relationships only with me, then when you surrender your intellect and your mind to me, leave everything beside, when you make me as your only world, then everything that belongs to you is mine, and your life is my responsibility. And everything belongs to me is yours, which means just imagine God Himself, what all He has. If everything He is giving you as an inheritance, then how fortunate we should be and how lucky we should be. So, to be able to um, become eligible for that inheritance, we need to make our mind pure. That's why you need to spend a lot of time in silence, in Swachintan, and do the manthan, remove all the weaknesses and the impurities, and make ourselves strong and as valuable as diamond, as strong as a diamond. So these steps, whatever that we are discussing now, this has to be done every day, every single day. Most of the time, people, one common excuse that what we listen is we don't find time. We are so busy. Time will not find you. You have to make time for yourself. If you think that your well-being is the most important duty of you, then you make time for yourself, and then you will do it for the benefit of yourself. Then, say we all know silence is beneficial. Silence is good. It has many benefits, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we need to like it. Like, say, for example, exercise is beneficial. Everybody knows it. But does it mean that everybody likes exercise? I don't think so. Broccoli is good, but doesn't mean that everybody likes broccoli. I don't think so. So, but silence is beneficial, but irrespective of the person, everybody seems to be liking silence because the reason is we have experienced silence at one point of time in our life, and everybody is seeking a few moments of silence. Leave me alone. I want to be quiet for some time. So these kind of comments you hear in your day-to-day life, which means that everybody likes silence because silence is our innate quality, and in fact, it is the language of the soul. Soul doesn't have a physical organs when it is as simply as a soul. So during that time, the only language is silence. And we are coming from the land of silence. People call it as nirvana. People call it as world of peace and then world of light. But that is our home. That is where we have come onto this corporeal world to play our parts. So to be able to be in the corporeal world, we have taken the costume. But without the costume, we, the souls, are originally the residents of the soul world, or land of nirvana, and the land of peace. So we have come from that world. We have taken the costume, world as a stage. We are playing our part on this corporeal world. So when you have this consciousness of being that soul, playing your part, and then each role is only temporary, then our approach and our attitude and our vision, everything will change. Then problems, what seem to be difficult, impossible, seems to become lighter, and then we will have the strength and courage to overcome these challenges or problems. So why do we need silence at all? Because it is not the silence alone that we are looking for, because it is the peace that what we are looking for, and silence is the key to open the treasure of peace within us. We can be silent forcefully, but we may not be peaceful. But when we are peaceful, then that is the stage that keeps us calmer and stable in every situation that we come across in our day-to-day life. So it is that peace, the ultimate result, that is the peace that what we want to achieve through the practice of silence. Because peace is the real power. Peace is your true religion. And peace liberates us from the bondage of karma. So all the karmic bondages that what we have right now, once we become peaceful, they will automatically become karma sambandh. That means those become bondages of service, not bondages of karma anymore. So because you are being a peaceful soul, you will always at peace, and then you tend to share that peace with others, and that peaceful state of yours and the sharing of your thoughts, your blessings, your vibrations will only help them to deal with with their own lives, and in turn you get blessings back. That way you'll be able to break away those bondages of karma by being peaceful, and even in your relationships. Peace removes the obstacles, because when you are at peace, your mind is calm and you're stable, then you can easily see the problem and then find a solution. So obstacles, they come just as a small test paper for you. Imagine if you are well prepared for an examination, and if you're going for an exam, then you're excited. No matter what question comes, you will easily able to answer and then come out with flying colors. The people who do not prepare well and who are not peaceful, they cannot think through their calm and then stable mind. For them, obstacle, everything, even a mole becomes a mountain, a problem for them. The other beauty of the peace is, once you have silence and peace with you, all other family members, like your happiness, your joy, your love, power, etc., everything will join together. So it's a combined package. If you are able to attain silence and peace, then rest of them are just an automatic outcome for you. Now, so so far, whatever we have discussed, whether you remember or you don't remember, but I would request all of you just to remember these, you know, 8 steps or 7 steps in order to accumulate the power of silence. Ever since you wake up in the morning, no matter whenever you wake up in the morning, whether 6 o'clock, usually in our case, say for example, we wake up at 4 o'clock to do meditation. That is the best time to meditate. So, but your habit could be maybe 6 o'clock or whatever the time. At least 8 o'clock in the morning, for a few hours, keep yourself in silence. Do not speak. Do not open your phone. Do not, go through all the emails, social media, and all those things, etc. Just keep it away from yourself, at least until 8 o'clock. As we mentioned earlier, 2 hours of silence alone start building the new cells in your brain. And there is another study, just 2 minutes of silence is more relaxing than listening to music. There is another study that has been conducted. So observe silence in the morning until 8 a.m. Stay connected to the nature as much as you can, especially if it is possible. Getting up in the morning, early morning, and then just going out for a walk is the best way to connect to the nature, because nature is just getting ready for the day. You can hear the birds chirping, air, cool breeze, and warm sun just rising. So the day is so beautiful, and you can really enjoy the beauty and the nourishment that nature is offering you when you are connected in the morning. So take and stay connected, because nowadays in our busy lives, we don't have time to stop and stare at the beauty of the nature. And then take long walks in the introspection and then thinking within yourself, because these long walks can help you a great deal, finding so many things, so many answers for yourself. Once a father and son, they had a very serious argument. Then son slams the door and walks away, saying that I will never see your face again, to the father. So son goes on for a walk. He really is walking, 3 miles, 5 miles, he's still walking. Then suddenly he started getting some kind of sensational feeling within him. I think it's my fault. I should not have behaved with my father like that. I think I better go back and convey my apology to him. So he goes back to the home and then he apologizes his father. So long walks can really help you to have that introspection. Number one is the other one is digital detox. We know we are in the modern age of technology, and then there are so many technological devices that we have been using day in and day out. On an average, each person is using 5.9 hours of electronic devices in a day. That is according to the 2019 statistics. Almost 6 hours a day, we are just spending our time only on electronic devices. And imagine if any person has to work on computers for living, then if you calculate those hours, then it will be significantly very, very high. So these digital devices, they will take away all the natural surroundings from you, and then you are deeply immersed into a virtual world, which is not anyway helpful for the nourishment of your soul. That's why detox yourself from the digital devices. Try to keep them to the to the to the minimum as much as you can. Observe traffic control. So in Brahmakumaris, usually we practice just a minute every hour. We take 1 minute. Just try to contemplate what has been going through in the last 1 hour. Is my mind stable, or am I disturbed with something or someone? So we'll try to immediately put it back in the right path, and then we will continue. So these frequent checks um, on a regular basis, will allow you to keep you in the right path, and then will conserve a lot of energy, and then doing many more mistakes without realizing it, you can actually cut down your accounting by the end of the day by having this self check. Read some spiritual books. Any book has pearls of wisdom. So read books, your mind will expand. You'll start thinking in many ways, start analyzing things. That's how you grow spiritually as well. So read some spiritual text every single day. We at Brahmakumaris every day morning, at least for 45 minutes, we read the godly versions. So that is a nourishment for the whole day for us. Like how body takes the nutrients from food, like from morning breakfast, afternoon, lunch, and dinner. The same way, mind needs some healthy diet. That healthy diet could be something spiritual. And what else can be a greater healthy diet than godly versions when you read them? And then last thing is meditate daily, morning and evening. So if you do not know how to meditate, we can help you to learn meditation. But Do not say that it is difficult and then you cannot do it and you don't have time for doing meditation. Meditation means healing the self. Meditation means spending time with yourself. Meditation means churning yourself very deeply. Meditation means accumulating power. Meditation means giving exercise to your mind and intellect. Meditation means boosting the immune system of the soul. So do not say that I don't have time. By denying that, you're saying you don't need immune system for the soul, you don't need energy for you, you don't need the stability, internal stability and strength, and you don't need to heal yourself. I don't think that's the case. In fact, meditation is not a very big thing. It is, in fact, it's not anything to do. In fact, let me share a small story. Once there is a samrat, a king, basically, he goes to a Jain ashram because he's a Chinese samrat, so he goes to a Jain ashram to see. We heard many things, good things about these sadhus who are living in the ashram. So this king, he goes there and he meets the guru of the ashram there, and he tells the reason why he was there. So the guru is very delighted to have the king within their ashram. So he takes personal interest with this king, and then he takes him for a walk and shows the ashram everything, every corner. So he says, this is where we cook our food, and this is where we grow our vegetables, etc. All those things he was showing. And king asked, what is this building in the middle? Then the guru ignores. Then he takes, so this is where we sleep, and this is where we wash our clothes, and this is where we do this thing. That he again asks, what is this building in the middle? He ignores that, and he'll keep continuing, and he takes the complete tour without explaining what this building is about. So out of curiosity, the king asks, unless you tell me what is this middle building is for, I'm not going to leave this campus today. Then that guru says, this is the building we spend most of our time doing nothing. We just simply meditate, which means meditation means just being yourself, not doing anything. Meditation is not doing something. Meditation is being your own self. So do not say that you don't have time for meditation. So Raja Yoga meditation is a type kind of meditation that we practice and teach here at BRAHMAKUMARIS. Raja Yoga meditation is helpful for making your mind pure and positive, brings out the clarity within you by providing all the spiritual secrets that are shared by God Himself. Raja Yoga meditation helps you find the purpose of your life, and it's in fact it's a way of life. So once you start practicing Raja Yoga meditation, your lifestyle will change, and it will connect to your true self and truth, that is God, the Almighty Authority. BRAHMAKUMARIS have many chapters all over the globe in 120 countries and then more than 9,000 centers. BRAHMAKUMARIS established in 1936. And here in Milpitas, BRAHMAKUMARIS have a chapter which is run by Sister Kusum Kejriwal. She has been teaching Raja Yoga meditation here for the last 25 years in Milpitas. Sister Kusum is an excellent teacher, a guide, and a friend. She can really help for the spiritual growth and progress. And we have been taking a lot of love and sustenance from Sister Kusum from this center. So in Silicon Valley chapter, at Milpitas, BRAHMAKUMARIS offers many programs, many meditation courses for beginners, seminars, webinars, events, kids living value programs, and parenting classes, and many silent retreats and other spiritual developments. All these programs are offered for free. Yes, you heard me right. It is free. All these programs as a service to the community are offered by BRAHMAKUMARIS for free of cost, just the way how you're attending this webinar today without paying any except your time. So, but however, donations are welcome. Generous donations are always welcome. If those of you who wants to help us to reach this message and this help to many more people, you can see you can go to our website and then you can offer your donations there. And all the donations are tax exempted. You will get the receipt. And these are the upcoming events. So we have meditation course for English, which is starting on September 12th and runs for um, at least 4 consecutive weekends. And Hindi Raj Yoga meditation also starts on the same day, that is September 12th. That is also for consecutively for 4 weekends. And those who can attend a daily meditation course, we have a course starting on September 7th, so 8 days continuously. Then we also have Gujarati Raj Yoga meditation course starting on August 15th, that is today in the morning. Those who wants to join the Gujarati course, you can reach out, so they can help you out just in case if you have missed this today's class. We have webinars coming up in the next Saturday, next weekend. So on 22nd, we have webinar called Decoding the Psychodynamics to Understand the Deep Secrets of Human Mind. And 29th, the Attitude of Gratitude. So it is at the same time, Saturday, that is 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. So you can register going to the svabrahmakumaris.org/webinars website. We have the daily meditation for the world benefit. Right now we are in a very troubled and challenging situation. So every day we offer our pure and powerful thoughts and vibrations for the well-being of our fellow citizens of the globe between 7:30 to 8. And if anybody wants to join this moment, you can go and join there. In the website, there is a link, brahmakumaris.org live meditation. So you can join and be a part of this benevolent program. So now let us spend few minutes in meditation and then we will take the questions. Let me disconnect from the noise of the world outside and spend few minutes of silence with myself. Take a slow, deep breath in and exhale out. Inhale the peace, exhale all the tension and negativity out. This breathing is the flute of my life, which is very soft, gentle, soundless, and priceless. As I go in now, I listen to the magical rhythm of my heartbeat, sustaining my life from the birth. My body is a marvel of engineering. Many organs, billions of cells, all are working together for my life in great harmony. With every breath in, I go more and more deeper. As a soul, I am a masterpiece of God's work. I am a king of these sense organs, and I rule the kingdom of this body. I withdraw myself from the sensations of my body and become detached for some time. I'm looking in the mirror of silence. Who am I? Whom do I belong to? What am I doing here? Where am I heading to? I hold my thoughts in these beautiful moments of silence. I hear a soft whisper from within. I am a soul. I am the master of this body. I rule the sense organs and the kingdom of this body. I am from the land of silence. Silence is my true nature. Peace is my true religion. I am the embodiment of peace. I am the child of God, who is the ocean of peace. It is my duty to donate peace to the world. I am under the canopy of God's protection. I absorb the rays of peace from my Father, and I spread the rays of peace all around me. I'm enjoying this sweet silence and the fountain of peace. When I go back to the world of sound, I remain peaceful and stable. I speak only when it is necessary. I play the strings right by maintaining the balance between sound and silence, and enjoy the melody of life. I, the soul, with my mind, intellect, and body together, makes it a perfect symphony. Now, slowly, I come back to the awareness of my body and my surroundings. I promise to keep the silence intact throughout the day. Om Shanti.